Will pets eat their owners?
Yeah, this is a weird question.
This took a dark turn. Yeah.
Will pets eat their owners? I mean, I've heard that it happens from reputable sources, so I'm sure it can, but I don't think it's that common. But like in what situation? The situation that I've heard it is like where the owner dies and the pets aren't getting fed. So they find something to eat, and it happens to be.
And they probably don't eat the whole thing. It's probably just
they just like chew, nibble. Yeah, they nibble on the fingers, they nibble on the nose, they nibble on the like whatever. And I know it's cats is what I've heard, but dogs too. I've heard too. I've heard dogs. I've heard cats. Because what I've heard is once that happens, that they don't try to rehome those pets. That those pets that they're not going to just send to live with another person after that. So those animals end up in the shelter a lot.
Wow. Okay.
And I'm sure that happens more often than people think about. Like an elderly person that has pets passes away and no one knows about it for a couple of days. What happens?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and it also makes me think of like the movie Jaws and what that spurred about like sharks and this idea of like sharks eating people, the man-eating shark, and how that's largely a myth. Statistically, it's largely a myth, and it's led to killing off a lot of that species, a lot of those species, which is really detrimental to like ocean hierarchies and things of that nature.
Yeah, this is like that. I think that stereotype that a cat will eat you when you die is super overblown.
Got to be overblown. It's got to be overblown. Yeah, yeah. Or pigs. I've heard about like if you have a pet pig, that's the problem.
But I have heard you could feed bodies, so that's something. But
I've heard that from gangster movies.
That's a lot of movies. Have I actually known anybody who's done it? No. But Pablo Escobar apparently.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen that in a lot of gangster movies. It's pretty popular. I think pigs eat like quickly. They're pigs. They eat like pigs. I mean, that's, the stereotype is around for a reason. They're not picky eaters.
Right.
So it's not so much that like they crave human flesh. It's just it's like, we'll put gravy on it and they're not picky, Yeah.
So. Pets eating owners. I don't think that's.
Yeah.
Maybe it happens, but even like if I tried to look it up, I couldn't find any stories. Only like BuzzFeed clickbait.
I found some clickbait junk, and that was about it. I didn't, I bet if we dug deeper, we could find some real story. Florida man, but
yeah, I'm sure there's a exception out there, but
also if you're gonna have a pet tiger, I mean, I guess I have heard a nasty story about that. People had a boa constrictor, and then they had a baby.
Yes.
And the boa ate the baby.
Yes, this is true.
I heard about that story.
I've heard stories about that. Yes, snakes swallowing their owners,
or a python or something. Yeah. I'm not telling the story perfectly.
Yeah, so these are pets. There was a story of a family that lived in the same building with a pet store, and a giant boa got out of the pet store, climbed through the vents, and swallowed 2 kids. 2 kids, and this is a true story. People could look that up. Yeah. So can pets eat their owners? Yes.
I mean, if your pet's a boa constrictor, but I don't. Again, I'm going to be a little judgy. I just don't fully understand the having a baby and then having an exotic huge python as a cuddly pet. I know people bond with snakes. Yes. I know people bond with snakes, and I'm not trying to say they don't. And I mean, also people have like pit bulls and Rottweilers, and I've met pit bulls who were just softies. They're just cute, cuddly, but they were bred to be, pretty strong fighters. So
fighting is not eating, though. Like what's actually swallowing humans, snakes, and anything else? I don't know. I know people like the bear grizzly guy. He was in there too close with the bears. He got eaten by bears. So like. It depends what you consider a pet. These wild animals you consider a pet, it might take you out. People that have like the pet lions and pet tigers, there's people getting eaten.
Depends
by
on
those
what you
pet
consider
lions and pet tigers, right? Especially if you get something from outside, like a wild animal, and you take it in and try to turn it into a domesticated pet.
But there's not an epidemic of like Pomeranians eating humans.
No. See, now I'm looking at the question differently. What are you calling a pet? That wolf that you raised from a puppy that you think isn't going to snap? Or what about the people who stick in their heads in the alligator's mouth and the alligator bites down?
Yeah. I mean, Pet Peeves Podcast, overanalyzing clickbait since 2016.
The nuances.
I tell you, you got to get into the nuance. You got to get into the nitty gritty.